Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're out here with our kind of minuscule garden today because we're going to talk about the fundamentals of garden design. But before we talk about the fundamentals of garden design, I wanted to show you we are actually getting sunflowers on our sunflower seeds. So, yay, we're going to have sunflower seeds and they're going to be yummy. That has nothing to do with anything today. But we also have a flower over here that's ending its summer bloom cycle. That little guy there, he's ending his summer bloom cycle. Those guys are still good. This guy's still doing his thing, so we're good there. And the reason I'm pointing those guys out is because I want to talk about the fundamentals of garden design, and you need to consider when things wilt and stuff like that. Because the qualities people enjoy in individual plants are color, texture, their form and shape, and their fragrance. So when you're planning out your garden, you need to take these things into account, okay? People also like seeds. They like seed pods. They like seeing fruit start on their plants. They like seeing berries. Berries are popular. They like the different shape and color of leaves, stems, branches, bark, and they like the different growth habits. And by growth habits, I don't just mean whether they grow up or out. I also mean what season do they bloom in. So these guys bloom in summer, okay? The guy that is wilting beside my big red guy, I love my big red guy, but the guy that's wilting beside there, he blooms in spring and he's done now. So he's going to kind of go back to being a bulb. He's done. He's moving on with his life. He'll come back next year. He's a perennial. He'll come back next year. He's fine. Don't worry about him. So it does matter when things bloom, how things grow, what shape everything's going to be. It does matter. Okay? So when you design a garden area, you want to select and arrange your plants to produce a pleasing effect. So this is not how we're going to leave it, obviously. This was a temporary, I want some cucumbers, I want some sunflowers, I want some corn happening. So this is not permanent. But this big red guy in the middle is permanent. He's a perennial, and I stuck him in the middle there because I want him to be there. I want him to be the focal point of this flower bed because he's beautiful and awesome, and I love him. So it's easy to say you should arrange your flower beds so that you have a pleasing effect. I'm going to wander down and check on the potatoes. But it's easy to say that. It's harder to do it. Okay, it's really difficult actually to design a garden that really looks great all summer, all spring, summer, and fall. Okay, because things wither and die, things have different growing seasons, so it's really, really tricky. And we got this. These are wild daisies. Just don't want to step on them because I like them. They don't take well to transplant though. Don't try and transplant those. Anyway. So professionals do have an advantage over us amateurs, okay? They know the plants available in your area better than you do. That's their job, okay? So they know their plants, the plants that are available way better than you do. They also have a treasure trove of design examples, okay? They'll have binders sitting there with hundreds of thousands of plans that they can kind of pull together and work on. And Bowser's helping again. Yeah, Bowser's helping. It's good, Bowser. We need the help. Thank you. So they have both the knowledge and the catalog of design ideas that you don't have. However, you do have an advantage, okay? Because you only have to please yourself. They have to have a variety of ideas that can please pretty much anyone. You only have to please you, okay? You only have to please you. So because you only have to please you, your job is a little bit easier in that respect. It only has to look good to you. So if somebody else doesn't like begonias, but you love begonias, that's fine. Cats again. Cats. So you only have to design it so that you enjoy it. Okay, we're going to wander around to the front because, haha, my dad planted my cedars for me. He did. He did it for me. I didn't do it. I'm not going to take credit there. He did it. So We're going to just go this way. But you can use some of the tricks the pros use, okay? One of the big tricks is to use a focal point. And that's one of the reasons I'm going to the front here, because we're using these cedars as a focal point because they're going to get bigger. Okay, they are going to get bigger. So we're not going to worry about that too much because they're small now, but they'll get bigger. So focal points are a big deal. Figure out what you want to focal point to be in each area and kind of design around that. So in the smaller flower bed, that red guy in the center is going to end up being my focal point. He's the guy I picked for that area. Everything's going to go around and match with him eventually. Not this year. This year was just getting what I wanted. See, they're planted now. They're planted now. Yes, our sign is up. Also, Dad did that. Yay. So yes, they're planted. We're happy. Stuff is going. Excellent job. See? It's Andersen Acres. Our sign is up. Thank you, Dad. Looking good, Dad. Everyone needs a little help now and then. That's another tip. Get some help. If you need someone to help you do something, you can't plant a tree by yourself. Hi, Bowser. You can't plant a tree by yourself. Get some help. Everyone needs a little help. Everyone needs to work together. So if you do need a little bit of help, ask for it. So another thing that the pros do that you can do, you want to repeat design elements to kind of create some kind of unity. So if you're doing flower beds all over, maybe you want your filler to be, I don't know, what kind of filler do you like? Okay, I like green ferns as filler plants. So maybe that will be my unifying design, that I'll use ferns as filler plants, because I like ferns. Ferns are nice. But you can repeat design elements to give things kind of a more cohesive look. Okay, it really does help. And we're back here, because I wanted to be back here. Remember that everyone was once a beginner. Everyone. Even the pros were a beginner once in the gardening world. See our corn? We are getting corn ears. It's early in the season yet, so I don't expect too many, but there are some ears of corn happening. Yep, there's some ears of corn happening. See? Some ears of corn are happening. They're not as tall as they're going to get. They're going to get taller. So we're not going to worry about that. So, everyone was once a beginner. The trick is to start small, because if you start small and you make a mistake, you can easily fix that mistake. Okay, it helps. It helps being able to fix a mistake. You'll learn as you go, and you can fix your mistakes as long as you started fairly small. So the other thing you want to do before you really get started, look at photos, look at screenshots, find out what you like. Go to your local garden center and wander around. You don't necessarily have to buy anything that first day. Wander around, see what's available, see what you like, see what you actually want to plant. Okay, maybe visit public gardens or admire what your friends and family have done. Okay. Pollinators everywhere. We need them. We have pollinators arriving. Excellent job. So, admire what your friends and family have done. Take your own photos, save screenshots, figure out what you like, what you don't, and kind of start going from there. Know what your goal is. Do you want food? Do you want flowers? Do you want a combination of both? Do you want to come out and relax every day and so have a fairly low maintenance garden? If you do, perennials are a good way to go because they kind of just come back and all you have to do is weed the area. You don't have to do much pruning or anything. They just kind of pop back up every year. So you could do that. Hello, Shadowfax. They're over there. So if you want to just relax, you're going to kind of have a different kind of planting system. You're going to have different plants than somebody who, for example, actually wants to get into their garden and work. So if you want to get into your garden and work every day, you're probably going to have more annuals. You're going to have stuff that requires more attention just because you want to give it more attention. So kind of think about what you want and how much time and effort you want to give to your garden. If you want to be out here all the time, you're going to be able to have plants that someone who only wants to come and sit and look is going to have. You're not going to have the same plants. Okay, so certain kinds of plants need way more maintenance. A lot of plants, you just plant them and go, and you don't have to worry about anything. Okay, I'm going to wander over to my pumpkin plant because I do have 2 small pumpkins growing, which is good. These videos are posted on quite a bit of a delay. So for me, this is mid-July, which is good for pumpkins starting to grow. Like I have a little bitty pumpkin growing there, and I have a little bitty pumpkin growing there. So I have 2 pumpkins growing on this plant right now. I'll probably end up with a couple more. But for us, that's a good time for pumpkins to be starting because they'll grow until October. Hi, kittens. Kitten boo time. So make sure you know what you want, what your goals are, and how much work you want to do. Because if you don't want to do a ton of work, you're not going to want to plant high maintenance plants. Okay, you want to plant something you can kind of set and forget, which is more your perennials than your annuals. A lot of annuals do need a lot of help, and you're probably wondering where my pots are everywhere. It's because I planted everything or sold everything, so now my pots are everywhere till I pick them up. Hopefully I'll pick them up next week, or not. Depends when I get in the mood to pick them up. A little bit of ADHD going on over here, so sometimes pots stay on the ground way longer than they should, but we're not going to worry about that because they're just pots. They're reusable. I'll pick them up eventually. And there's kittens. So kittens are more fun than pots. Okay? We love kittens. So anyway, just know what your goals are and start looking at pictures for what you want. Because if you don't look at pictures and don't kind of narrow down what you want, you're going to try to have everything. And most of us simply cannot have everything. That's just the way it is. So most of us can't have everything. We don't have the space. We don't have the inclination. We don't have the time to take care of it. So narrow down what you want before you go on a buying spree. So that's about it for us here today at Andersen Acres because it's already a 10-minute video. I will move on and talk about color and texture and things in the next segment, which should be posted 1 week after this one. We'll see you tomorrow.